Yo. Let me make sure this shit is not about to sound crazy.
Yo, by the way, I'm taking over and then broadcast duties.
You taking over the what duties?
And then the broadcast duties.
Pushing N, nigga. Like,
yeah, you ain't good at it, man.
Y'all niggas need to stop fucking talking after it should be quiet, nigga.
Yo, that day you wasn't here on the live.
Ain't nobody had no issues.
No issues, bro.
In the comments, nothing.
It was nobody talking about. Yo, I was still nothing, bro.
Yeah, nigga. It's only y'all niggas that be trying to talk after the shit done. Like,
no, it's you that be like.
I'm like, yo, we about to end it. All right, 3, 2, 1. Yo, man, shout out to all our people. See Amber in the chat.
I'm about to end it 3.
I even asked y'all niggas I literally asked y'all niggas any last words.
Yeah, you ask and then you click in at the same time. Any last words? Okay.
Run the tape back.
Yo, put one in the chat if Eli be hanging it up real early.
Yo,
that sounds crazy.
I gotta know when.
We gotta wait till Amber pull up, and Amber will go give you a real. What up, Michael? I see you in here, man. Shout out to Mike, not me.
Mike, what's goody?
I know y'all looking at us like, yo, these they doing it 2 days in a row. Like, you know what I'm saying? Listen, we told y'all yesterday, man, we trying to be more active on this live stream.
Alex want to know why, Eli.
Still ain't got the answers. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I see Riz Goku and you know what I mean in the building. Like, you see, that's another DBZ reference, man. Like, stop playing out here, man. Like,
he's saying, "What up, Eli?" You know that nigga. You told him to say that.
Word. That's it. That's it.
I know him because we share, you know.
Oh, so you do know? Oh, all right.
I know him now. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we about to be besties. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
you told him to say that shit.
Right.
That's Eli on his other phone. Fuck out of here. You know he ain't got no accounts.
Right. I had to burn that account. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, listen, man.
What's goody? Riz Goku and they trying to switch it up.
Lady Novoa.
I know that's Eli Hacker account.
Puerto Rican princess. Hey.
Yeah, but like I said, we just trying to be more active with the live stream, and we trying to be more active with y'all. We trying to, have y'all. I know y'all been talking about y'all been wanting to come on the stream and get some things off y'all chest. I mean, tonight, obviously, the whole situation with the Michael Irvin situation. We're gonna watch a couple of videos, give our thoughts on that. I think that's a very important conversation to have because we keep seeing this type of situation happen to men. Black men specifically, when we get falsely accused and is we damn near guilty and then got to prove our innocence, you know what I mean? Like, so, and if you ain't got the evidence, you ain't got the money, it's very hard. Like, we are looking at celebrities struggling to prove their innocence and they have the abundance of wealth to be able to pay for lawyers and stuff. Like, imagine the average everyday dude, you know what I mean? Who don't got access to the security footage, who don't got, good lawyers, good attorneys. Like, imagine what the fuck they got to go through. Like, you get what I'm saying? So, let us know your thoughts in the comments. Like, we're going to react to the whole Michael Irvin situation, like I said. Somebody said the Troy Ave situation. I've been keeping up with that situation.
He took the stand as of, I think, sometime this week against Tex Holmes. So, I mean, it's a lot of,
street politics. Right?
Yeah, I mean, they're saying that he's snitching. I mean, I don't know if
the same situation.
Yeah. Technically, I don't know. Maybe I'm not a street dude or something like that because he's affiliated with the situation where I'm assuming he's defending himself as well because wouldn't he be going down for the same crime?
From what I heard, somebody shot his best friend or one of his fans or whatever.
Which is RP.
And they were saying that he was the one that shot his mans.
Because he picked up the gun.
Right. So it's like, am I snitching by defending myself? Like, I don't get it. Like, I'm supposed to go to jail because you killed my...
Originally, he was charged with it. But they're saying if he would have stayed quiet, obviously they would have figured out he wasn't the person who shot it because he picked up the gun.
Man.
And he volunteered information too soon. Man, the street don't do no crimes with me, bro. Not like that.
Yeah, I ain't really into all that street politics shit. Like, you know what I mean? I wouldn't even put myself in that situation, to be honest with you. I'm not that type of dude. But in that situation, it's unfortunate that we got all these street politics, but niggas don't even know about real politics. So you get what I'm saying? Like, so it's like, how y'all dictating what's the street code? And y'all picking and honestly, y'all really be picking and choosing who y'all want to enforce street politics with. You know what I mean? Because y'all let 6ix9ine and all these other people get away with snitching, and nobody is saying nothing to them. Like, you get what I'm saying? Ain't nobody trying to press them. Whatever the case, I can say he got security, whatever the case is. But yeah, we don't even know if we're gonna, deal what he did, and we already ready to throw him under the bus. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Look. I feel like, and I'm not no advocate or whatever it is. Like, I'm saying, if you are a part of any situation, if you knew what was going on, then I honestly feel like you need to shut the hell up. If you was with me when I was stealing Doritos and I put one in your book bag, nigga, you a part of this. You get what I'm saying?
I'm telling you, you probably shouldn't do that, my guy. You might get caught up, and you still do it, and then you get caught up, and I'm involved in it. Then what?
Are you still around me when I'm doing said things?
Yeah, I'm the one telling you not to do the said things, nigga.
But you pulling up when I go to Grove Street, and I'm like, Grove Street, and you there? You still there?
Me personally, like, I'm just giving you that.
Are you there? Are you there with me when I'm pulling up on Grove Street?
I'm not.
Okay, then that's different. But if you pulling up after you told me not to do something, and I'm still going to do what you know I shouldn't be doing, and nigga, you can't say nothing. I'm sorry, bro. You need to do the smart shit and get away from that motherfucker like I would.
Now, I mean, that's true, but again, motherfuckers got families and shit like that. It's easy to say that now, like, oh, just don't say nothing. But when niggas trying to throw the book at you, and you know what I'm saying, and I ain't, like I said, I'm not trying to, I don't live that lifestyle, so niggas can do whatever the fuck they want. But like I said, he got a family to worry about. You get what I'm saying? He can't just be on some, and regardless if he take the street code or not, nobody gonna look out for him at the end of the day. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, whether he take that sentence and do that bid, what he gonna come home to? A couple of niggas dapping him up and saying, yo, good shit.
The same shit that he was a part of? The same shit that he was agreeing about? The same shit that he was living?
What shit?
Whatever. I'm saying, we don't know if he was not, doing that shit as well. It gets to the point where it's easy to blame the one person that the feds want you to blame it on. So if let's just use a hypothetical. I'm the person that did stuff with you. But if the feds say, hey, I want Eli, and I say, well, me and was both of us doing a crime. Oh, they want Eli, so I'm gonna tell on Eli so I could go home. That shit ain't fair.
Yeah, but the gun situation, we don't know. We just speculate. We don't know.
Exactly. So let's not speculate that he wasn't doing shit either.
Yeah, but we can't just assume that because he's free, he did snitch. Like, we don't know what the was. Like,
the video did come out of him.
Yeah. When he said that, it's a gang.
He said that he was a part of a gang.
No, he said YSL is a gang.
He said YSL was a gang, and he said, She asked him, "Do you have any knowledge of them doing illegal activities or blah blah?" And he was like, "Yes, ma'am."
So I see that video, like, you know what I'm saying.
I'm sorry, my apologies, but yeah. Yeah, hashtag yes, ma'am in the chat.
I gotta see that. All right, well, if he did snitch, then regardless of the fact that's his prerogative. Like, but again, we holding Gunna to a way higher standard than we ever did for 6ix9ine, and I don't like that picking and choosing. You know what I'm saying? That's the part that I be talking about. Like, you know what I'm saying? But let's get back to the day. We could have had a whole live stream about Detroit. I wish I would have had more information about Detroit Ave shit. We would have fucking put that in there too. Maybe I don't know how long that situation is going on, but maybe we probably cover that in another live stream. But let me see. We got a couple of videos that I see online.
Before you do that, I ain't really trying to dive into them hood nigga shit. I'm from Brooklyn. I ain't trying to walk past nobody talking their business. I'm good.
Nigga, you was real stern over there on hood politics, nigga. Like,
I'm just saying, man, I'm from the Ville, never ran, never will. But you know what I'm saying. Shout out to Mad Main. I see you in the chat.
Yo, what's the slogan for Jersey?
I don't know.
I'm from. Damn, I don't even want to say. I was going to try to make up some shit, but I don't.
Fuck out of here. What's the slogan?
Where he from?
Where he from?
What's the shit from the video?
Was this shit from YouTube?
Dunzeldorf, like
Dumbledore, right?
Dunzeldorf niggas, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you see that nigga he fucked up Batman, you know what I'm saying? Niggas don't fuck with that nigga, like, you know what I mean? Got the dumbbell with the infrared on that motherfucker.
What's the slogan though, man?
Shit, for a jersey or for Dunzeldorf?
Dunzeldorf.
Oh no, he did have a slogan, I think, but I gotta remember that shit. Like, you know what I mean?
That shit different. If you ain't from Dunzeldorf, you eating booty with a fork. Some shit like that. I don't know.
First of all, then he talking about y'all niggas. Then, like,
I'm about to say, if he is from
Dunzeldorf, I get what I'm saying, man.
Listen, man, we got a couple of videos that we're gonna watch, react to, as far as the the Michael Irvin situation. If y'all just joining in, make sure you hit that like button. Subscribe if y'all not already subscribed. Join that membership, man. Like, we got some dope content coming out, man. So we need all the support we can get. So let me get into this first video.
It's 9 o'clock, according to a court filing from.
Y'all can hear that?
Yeah.
From the hotel chain Marriott, a female hotel staffer accused Irvin of an unwelcome sexual advance. The filing came just hours before. A bit of a win for Irvin's legal team. Fox Sports' Blake Hansen has more on the allegations and what Irvin's attorneys are saying. Blake?
Stephen, Heather, Marriott says that it released these allegations at a court filing because of what it called false statements made by Irvin and his legal team during that news conference on Wednesday. Irvin's attorney calls the allegations hogwash and says that they now plan to release security video of the incident. NFL Hall of Famer Michael Irvin appeared emotional Wednesday as he and his attorney held a news conference to discuss his defamation suit against Marriott. He filed it after a Phoenix hotel employee reported misconduct against Irvin, which later led to him being taken off NFL Network coverage leading up to the Super Bowl.
I know I didn't do anything wrong.
To this point, Marriott has publicly said almost nothing about what Irvin is accused of. But in a court filing Friday, Marriott says Irvin made unwelcome sexual advances toward a female employee. The documents say when Irvin returned to the Renaissance Phoenix Hotel on February 5th, he appeared to be visibly intoxicated and in conversation with the female staffer asked a lewd question that's too graphic to detail on TV, but reference intercourse with a black man. Attorneys for Marriott say, taken aback by Irvin's comments, the victim responded that his comments were inappropriate and she did not wish to discuss it further. Irvin then attempted to grab the victim's hand again and said he was sorry if he brought up bad memories for her. The victim pulled her hand away, then tried to back away from Irvin as he continued to move toward her. Also, according to Marriott, 2 other hotel employees noticed that the victim had a look of concern on her face. Irvin then stated that he would come back to find her sometime that week when she was working. Marriott goes on to say another employee walked over to Irvin after the victim walked away, and that after Irvin finished leering at the victim and turned back to employee 1, he said aloud, she bad, followed by a sexual remark, then slapped himself in the face 3 times, saying, keep it together, Mike. Irvin's attorney, Levi McCathern, told me Friday the allegations are, quote, hogwash, and said none of this is backed up by the witnesses, referencing men who took part in Wednesday's press conference who say they were near the interaction.
Basically, I heard some laughter. I looked up. There was a few handshakes. There was some more laughter, and they went their separate ways.
They had a very brief interaction that was, super, friendly, lots of laughter.
Marriott is asking the judge to set limits on what can be said publicly in the case, specifically referencing comments made in this week's news conference.
But this sickens me. Because in this great country, this takes me back to a time where a white man would accuse a white woman would accuse a black man of something. And they would take a bunch of guys that were above the law, run in the barn, put a rope around his foot and drag him through the mud and hang him by the tree.
As we mentioned, some of the alleged comments are too graphic for TV, but we have posted those comments in full on our website, fox4news.com. Now, a point of contention during the news conference this week was that Irvin's attorneys were initially only able to inspect the video, and they were not able to actually take a copy of it. Irvin's attorney told me that They will now release the video after a judge agreed this afternoon for that entire copy to be turned over. Marriott is disputing how Irvin's attorney described that video playing out. Steve?
Ryan, we should probably reiterate those witnesses took no questions earlier this week and didn't say who was doing the laughing either. Blake, I read the court documents. They indicate the NFL was heavily involved with many of the decisions that were actually made about Irvin. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so according to Marriott, the NFL essentially said that if there were any incidents involving any employees in their block within that hotel, that the NFL wanted to be notified. So Marriott, after that alleged incident, contacted the NFL. According to Marriott, that NFL investigator came over, reviewed the video footage, spoke with that female staffer who was involved in that incident with Michael Irvin. And according to Marriott, it was not the hotel, but it was the NFL that ended up kicking Irvin out of that hotel.
Hello, everyone. Welcome.
Back with that, my boy.
Yeah. So,
we get shout out to O'Shea in the building.
O'Shea.
Do the intro, Eli.
Word.
Yo, why I gotta do the intro? Though?
You always doing this shit.
Yo, O'Shea, he be like, it's your boy O'Shea Duke Jackson.
In the building. Man. Shout out to O'Shea.
Shout out to O'Shea, man. O'Shea, man.
I get it.
Another dude that's been showing us support, man, since the beginning. You know what I mean? So, yo, shout out to that dude. Hardworking man. We talked about Kevin Samuels yesterday. Being a hardworking man, O'Shea is a very hardworking man. I honestly, to this day, don't know.
Every day I see.
I don't know how he do this shit, bro. I really don't. Like,
and he be current. He be
current. Yo, that shit just happened 1 minute ago. He already posted a 15-minute video. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't get it. Like, you know what I mean? So,
yo, that's a fact.
Yeah. So, yeah. So, what was your thoughts on that? I know we got I know the actual surveillance footage came out. We gonna take a look at that. But what's your initial thoughts?
It sounds like they're already trying to say he's guilty until proven innocent with the little subs. The dude saying, like, you know, with the information that they had, the other people saying what happened. Well, they didn't get cross-examined, or they're not saying who's laughing. So he's already trying to put in that, like, poison in people's ears. You know what I'm saying? To not believe him. You get what I'm saying? He could have just shut up and mind his business, but you know.
Yeah, it just sounds like some lies. Know what I mean? I ain't gonna lie to you, because the only witnesses is saying that the exact opposite of what she's saying happened. Like, oh, she was trying to walk away and he pulled up, and they saying, yeah, well, we saw some handshaking, some laughing and stuff. Like, know what I mean? So it's like, I mean, we're gonna see.
Yeah, it just, and you know what it is it's just very dangerous. The era that we live in, and obviously we don't want to take away from anybody who's suffered any type of abuse or, you know, whatever the case is. But when it's so easy for one party just to say without any evidence, just to say like, well, he did this to me. And then instead of people doing a proper investigation, is automatically believe all women. You know what I mean? Like even with the whole Johnny Depp situation, you know what I mean? It was damn near believe all women until the verdict. And then when the verdict happened, it was still believe all women. Like, you get what I'm saying? So, and obviously we see how that, you know, affected his career. And again, if these high celebrities that, you know, have an abundance of wealth are struggling to defend themselves and being innocent, what does the average person have? You know what I mean? And with somebody accusing them, obviously we see situations like the Central Park 5 situation. There's a whole abundance of situations, especially for black men. And
I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Brian Banks situation. That's the guy who spent 5 years in prison and then he went to the NFL.
Nah, I'm not familiar. I think I heard of it. But
he was accused of something rape. In college, right?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, he accused of rape, and he spent some time in prison. I think the girl later then they found a way for her to confess, and you know, it stopped his career. It stopped, you know, a lot of shit for him in his life. But you know, luckily he still got into the NFL afterwards. But this is things that's happening, you know, and he's a black man.
But again, you talking about a situation where he would have probably still been in jail if his accuser didn't admit that she was lying. Like, you get what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying? And obviously he was exonerated because of that. But there needs to be more ramifications, and I think that's the issue that we have now, is that there is no ramifications for women just being like, oh, well, I lied. It's a slap on the wrist. Like, there needs to be a severe penalty for women who outright
that could be a two-sided sword too, because if there was ramifications, she would have never came forward and said that. I mean, she lied.
What's crazy is a young lady who also lied. She did recently. They gave her a year of jail time. That don't even sound like something that somebody's really worried about. Like, oh, I could fucking go lie and all I'm gonna do is a year. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't think that applies any pressure to what she should really be getting.
And I doubt they're going in like the real jail. They probably going.
They should get the time that the person got that they lied on.
Person spent, I agree.
Not even spent the time that I was life. If I was facing 10 years to 20 years, your ass is facing that too now. Once I caught your ass lying.
That's a fact, man. And like I said, it just has to be more investigation. And for the fact that the NFL is just like, obviously they took, he's supposed to cover the Super Bowl weekend. They took him off, which a lot of companies do once they hit a word allegations or any type of something, because they want to distance themselves from the situation, which I think is unfair. I think there needs to be proper investigation, obviously conducted before you even apply any type of ramifications. You know what I mean? Like, so, and then I think it's rightfully so that he should sue, obviously, like, you know what I mean? And I think what happens sometimes is some women will accuse men, especially these celebrities, of things, and they just want a settlement. You get what I'm saying? They're just hoping that celebrity doesn't want to drag this out any longer in court, whether he's innocent or not. Like, they just hoping that they get some type of settlement money off of it. Obviously, they get a couple of interviews, they get their little clout or whatever the case is. And I think it's a system that it's very flawed. It got to be fixed, man. It's crazy, man.
But when you come to think about it, right? Because I seen somebody mention it in the chat. It does makes it hard for women that's telling the truth out there. So, like, even if we do look at the Megan Tory situation, we're so used to men getting falsely accused for certain things, that we kind of want to. I don't think we want to defend the person. We just want people to get a fair shot. You get what I'm saying? We don't want it to be guilty until proven innocent. It's supposed to be innocent until proven guilty. And I think people get it misconstrued that, oh, okay, we just defended him because he's a man, a black man, or whatever the case. No, we just want him to get his same fair shot that anybody else would get.
Exactly. And then you get ostracized or villainized because you are questioning both sides. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, for example, with the Meg situation, how many men was villainized just for even questioning the validity of this story? Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, I don't know, the story sounded a little you must hate black women, you hate is all these shaming tactics.
With her clearly lying as well. So
yeah, but again, it's these shaming tactics to make you feel bad about even questioning that she could possibly be lying. And obviously black men have had a history of women falsely accusing them. You know what I mean? So if we're questioning, hey, this shit don't kind of add up. Like, let's hear both sides. Let it play out in court at least. We don't even get to that point. It's like, yo, fuck the court. He's guilty. Like, that's the part I really dislike, man. Like, it's just crazy, man. So I got the video with the surveillance footage, about like 20 or so minutes long. We're gonna watch that, give our reactions to it, and come back.
You meant right now, or like?
Oh shit, my fault.
Started some to explain some of the things that are on this list, and then at the end, for y'all who want it, I'll show a completely just run the video for you, the tape. We also at the end, Mitch is my IT guy. He's gonna be able to get y'all copies of the video, and y'all talk formats, or that is not my business.
Oh shit, my fault.
Stu had one job.
Complaining employee began talking on February 5th, 2023. The conversations you see last a minute and 49 seconds. The whole video you're going to see last 5 minutes. The complaining employee makes a handwritten statement in the late afternoon on 2/6/23. We think that's relevant because there's a big gap between the events you're going to see and when she actually first files something that says she was offended, in which she lists the time as the incident as 12:15 a.m. on 5/23. By the way, that's impossible. That's not when this happened. You can tell from the videos. Michael got escorted out of the hotel the next night at about 10 p.m., as you can see. Let's go to things to watch for in this video. First thing, right out of the gate, it's not even on the slide, is you're going to see Michael, as I described before, in the back talking to these eyewitnesses that many folks have interviewed. He's more grabby and touchy-feely and in close proximity to them than he ever will be with the complaining witness. When you see the complaining employee come out for the first time in the video, where she's going makes no sense if she's not trying to intercept Mr. Irvin. She clearly has no reason to be walking where she's walking as part of her job duties. It's pretty clear she's making a line of sight over to Michael to talk to Michael. In the back, there were two employees that were together. There's going to be a man in a vest you're going to see throughout the video. This man, I think, is very, very important to this case. He's clearly in the back talking to the complaining witness before she comes out. And he comes around and posts up and watches her come up to talk to Michael. When he sees her with Michael, he does a weird move. He does this. He's going to bend over and clap his hands 3 times. You can draw your own conclusion. I think it shows he was either happy or he was upset that she was talking to Michael. He lingers at the bar, leering at the complaining employee throughout most of her conversation with Michael. You'll see him, he's very angry. When you first watch the video, I know you'll miss this guy. That's why I'm going to give you a few opportunities. He talks to a man in a gray shirt who appears to be security personnel. You'll see a gray shirted man circling the whole time. He's clearly security for the hotel. When the conversation ends, the complaining employee, it looks very happy. She does a little kick at the end, a little kind of a sachet, you'll see. It's kind of an odd gesture. And she continues talking to Michael, like back over her shoulder, like happily as she's leaving. And she seems to be in a very good mood until this man in the vest, you'll see, comes up to her and grabs her. And he's very aggressive and he just starts ripping her. Like he makes her walk out with him and you can see him over his shoulder. He's obviously agitated and being very visibly upset with her. The security guard that lingers in a gray shirt lingers in conversation, and one of the other Renaissance employees with him then goes and takes a selfie with Michael. Now remember, these are all Renaissance employees that are right on the scene to see and can hear what's happening, and they just act like nothing's happened. And then watch the witness's body language as she leaves. The last thing, what we don't see. I only have one angle of this interaction with Michael and the complaining employee. It's going to be clear there's going to be many others, and I'm hoping at some point I get those from Marriott, and of course I'll share them with you. We don't have still the tape on what the complaining employee or Michael were doing before this tape starts. Clearly Michael had already been in the hotel and met with people and walked outside. We don't have that. So with that, I'll give you quickly the status of the case. Many of you, I won't say incorrectly reported, but said, we dismissed the federal court case. That is true. We did what's called a Rule 41 procedure. The case was refiled immediately and has already been refiled in Arizona in state court. Why did I do that? Well, you've seen all the pleadings that were filed here. We didn't know who all was involved when I started this case. So we brought the case in Collin County where Michael lives. They obviously removed to federal court. They wanted to move it to Arizona. Now that we know who's involved, we've sued 4 individuals that are listed by name in the complaint. We've listed the company that operates this hotel out in Arizona. And of course, we have added Marriott International again. Okay, with that, I think we're ready to go to the tape.
But before we go to the tape, let me say this. I get a couple I get texts all day from the guys that I work with, and I do miss working and everything. But this is more than just work. I'm in between big businesses here, businesses that make billions of dollars with and for each other. But when you get called in a room and somebody tells you, hey, pack your bags, you relieved of duty, go home. And I said, why? What happened? Well, you sexually assaulted somebody. I said, who? When? What? And nobody was in my room. Well, don't worry about it. Go home. We'll talk about it. I said, wait, if you're telling me I'm doing something and I do not know what I'm doing, you can't tell me to just go home. I played this game hard. I played the game physical. And you guys know, we all worry about it. We see what happens with our brethren, and we now know about CTE. I'm saying, how can you say I'm doing something and I don't know it and you tell me to go home? I couldn't go home. Steve, you know, they put me in a hotel other than a Marriott, and they watched me, him and the staff, for 3 days. 3 days to make sure that I wasn't doing anything crazy. Make sure that I was okay mentally. And you guys know how hard we fought to get this tape. While I was sitting there and they were looking at me, we kept asking for the tape. Let us see what we're doing. Let us see if we're doing something. 3 days to make sure that I wasn't doing anything crazy. Make sure that I was okay mentally. And you guys know how hard we fought to get this tape. While I was sitting there and they were looking at me, we kept asking for the tape. Let us see what we're doing. Let us see if we're doing something. And you saw how hard we fought legally. I'm just thankful. I'm just so thankful for those witnesses. I'm so thankful for this video, because without it.
Yeah, the thing too, like when I'm watching, like the fact that they had to fight so hard to just get the video, you know what I mean? It was just like, well, you know, even when the NFL told him just to, you know, he's relieved of his duty, it's like, yo, like y'all not even telling me like, you know, what the situation really is. Like y'all just saying, well, we heard something about you and now we just leave you. Like that type of stuff to me is very sus. Like, you know, like why are you so hesitant to release the footage? You know what I mean? Like it goes back to like the situation with police brutality. Is like, why they be so hesitant to release the footage? Is because they know that the footage probably don't, you know, favor them. You get what I'm saying? So
I just don't know where this would have gone. This is a sexual assault. This is what they're calling sexual assault. It just, you can run it.
Okay, as we start here, y'all can see up to the top right, Michael is outside with the gentleman that were here last time via Zoom. I called them the TMZ witnesses because they were the first to interview them, but it's three gentlemen. If you notice his body movements and what's going on, he's obviously going to be very friendly. There's some other people actually that I don't know their identity. Take a picture. That guy right there on the left, stop it. And go back 10 seconds. Can you do that? When I talked about the people that were in the back talking, I believe a complaining witness, I believe it's this gentleman here who's some kind of a manager. And then you'll see the witness who's been back come out this side, okay? She's gonna walk way around here to this pole instead of back to where her job would be back that way. Okay, go ahead and roll it. There he goes. She'll come this way pretty soon across the bottom. Also, when she walks up, you'll see she kind of looks around the pole to see if Michael is still coming. You see her just barely duck her head. Here she comes. Okay, right there. You see how she stuck her head to the right? And now pause it. Now, she's way ahead of Michael. If she was to continue at her same speed for her job, she should be way over the bar in a second, but she clearly slows down so that they're going to intersect at that kind of juncture where you have to walk in the bar. So go ahead. This is the shake I talked to you about in the beginning, the opening shake. Pause it.
Yeah, so it's kind of hard to see, but this is them over here.
Mm-hmm.
So, because I had to watch it a couple of times just to, I'm like, what the fuck?
He's saying that she could have just went up that way.
Yeah, she could have just went over here to where her job was, but she went over here specifically, I guess, to talk to obviously Michael.
This guy over here with his hands on his hips is the angry manager, okay? If you go back a few seconds, I want him to see what he does with the hand clap when he sees her with Michael. He comes behind the bar. You'll see him walk out. So focus on him this time instead of on her. We went back a little far.
It's not as granular as it should be.
Okay. Well, we got it coming now because here she comes. He sees her back there where he's vectored, and he comes up, the manager, and you'll see him when he sees her. Watch his expression, what he does. See the claps? I don't know what that is. Then he comes up here, and you can see he's visibly frustrated at what's going on somehow with her. Now let's take your focus back to Michael and her, because you can see they have friendly interaction. The body language is good, and they're just talking. In fact, if you see, he keeps more space from him than he does when he's talking to any male at any point in the bar. Some of y'all probably wish you'd keep more space when he talked to you.
I ain't gonna front, this manager nigga definitely hating. Like that nigga been upset like since he got over there. Like that nigga just watching him like, yo.
Guy's pacing, hitting his hands. He's upset over there on the left with whatever's happening. The guy in the gray up top, that's the security guard that's wandering around. He'll circle around many times around Michael and her. Pause it 1 second. So we've been going for a while. They're having a lot of conversation. As Marriott released in their statement, they said basically, he said one word to her, an offensive, vulgar thing that he did not say, and it's clear from the video and from these witnesses. But they have a very lengthy conversation, and no one's trying to tell us what that is. Go ahead. That's where she tells some kind of joke, I believe, to him. You see him kind of bend over. She's shaking her head back and forth like that. He walked in closer to her. She didn't back up at all. Now they're shaking hands. Now I want you to watch the end interaction here, because she's going to kind of, when the people come up, she'll kick her leg. As she walks off, she's still talking to Michael over the shoulder. All friendly. There you go. Kick her leg. And see right here, she's gonna look back over her shoulder and say something to Michael. Now pause it, pause it. Okay. They claim he was leering at her. When he looks back at the bar, she's way gone. Because you're about to watch, she's gonna go over here, and that guy is gonna go he's gonna get very visibly upset with her. And basically there's somebody who's, I don't want to use the word abusive, but there's somebody who's really being forward to her. It's this gentleman here. It wasn't Michael. So watch what happens. Okay, go ahead and roll the tape. You see him grab her, and she falls. Now pause it. Now Michael's looking over there for the first time. He's not watching her. He's talking to these guys. You'll see in a second they turn around and they start
still looking over there.
The guy in the white hat. Okay, go ahead. See? Now Michael walks out to go take a selfie with this, we believe, Renaissance employee, 99% sure. And the security guy stays right there with him, who's been around for the whole conversation, really. Shows Michael where the elevator is.
I mean, even there, he just had multiple witnesses. You had a whole table of men right here. He had two people right next to him. You know, if he would have said anything outrageous, number one, her reaction would have, you know, she would have looked back like, what? If he did say anything, she didn't even look back at him. She kept walking with the manager, whatever the case is. She probably about to get a write-up. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like, yo, it's just so outrageous to me that, again, if a lot of men didn't have the evidence that they had, that he would be outright canceled right now. You get what I'm saying? Like, if he did not have this video evidence, witnesses don't even be good enough nowadays. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you need witnesses, you need video evidence, voice evidence. Like, you need all of this just to prove your innocence off of one like allegation.
It's scary because even let's say he's joking around with her, and some people like move their hands around it. The fact that he might have did this or whatever, or handshake with her, I just think it's a stretch. You get what I'm saying? Of course, I don't know, what was said, but I honestly don't think she felt threatened at any point of that conversation.
Yeah, like her body language, I ain't an expert now, but if somebody talking to you and you don't like what they're saying, you're not gonna stay there for the whole conversation and then shake their hand after. You know what I mean? Like, so I don't know. It just seems sketchy.
Mm-hmm. Yo, real quick, man. We got we almost 330 people in here, man. If y'all in here, make sure you hit that like button, man. It take what I always say, to take like half a second just to click the like button. Like, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Share this out on all social medias. It definitely helps us out. If y'all want to support us, y'all can send us super chats. We're reading all super chats. If y'all want to send us a Cash App, I don't even got the band at the bottom. It's like Cash App. You got Cash App as Dailyrapupcrew.
115 likes, man. That ain't right.
That ain't mathing. The math ain't mathing right now.
Okay, you can stop. There's nothing else relevant on this tape. It just shows the lobby for another couple of minutes. Guys, this is ridiculous. I know what happened here. It's an overreaction based on the fact the word we used the first press release out was cancel culture. It's where we are.
And now that I'm thinking about it, right? Clearly her manager, and like I said, I don't know for certain, but her manager seems to be who was very frustrated with her, her interaction. Who's to say to get herself out of trouble, she didn't just come up on the spot? Then, I didn't want to leave because, I felt like, just to cover her ass, because she clearly was going to suffer some type of ramifications. Maybe she just fabricated that lie, clearly she fabricated that lie just to cover her ass so she didn't get in trouble. Like, you get what I'm saying? So, these are things that is very detrimental in our society when it could just be one-sided and everybody just believes them off rip. And again, we had that episode about female privilege and privileges that women have. That is an absolute privilege that women have. They could just outright accuse anyone specifically men, of any type of action, and they get believed automatically. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, that's a privilege, unfortunately. Like, you know what I mean? So
there's no doubt from watching this woman's not offended. Is it possible the manager was upset at her for talking to Michael because he's a celebrity and she shouldn't? Is that possible the manager was upset because he has some kind of relationship with her we don't know about? We'll find all this out in the case. But the one thing that is really clear, this is not a sexual assault. This isn't sexual harassment. This isn't sexual misconduct. None of that exists here. And I think this tape is very, very clear. Michael, you want to say anything else? Because all I'm going to do now is run this one more time so everybody can watch it in real time. And that's all we have. You good? Okay.
Yeah, so they pretty much just going to run the tape again. I think I do got one more video, but like I said, just in general, man, it's just very unfortunate, man, that he has to suffer this. And obviously his career is affected. And regardless of the fact that when he's proven innocent, this is still going to loom over his career. It's still going to be in the archives. People are still going to bring this up in the future, whether he does something good or bad. They're going to go back like they often do with black men and bring up his past to use it against him, to villainize him and demonize him. It's just, I don't know, man. It's just
it will prevent him from getting future jobs. You get what I'm saying? Like, this shit's still going to hang over him whether he's guilty or not guilty. You know what I'm saying? It's going to hang over him.
Yeah, and this is why so many men are now scared to work with women in the workplace, because everything can be seen as a form of sexual misconduct or sexual harassment. You can't compliment a woman no more. You can't look too long at a woman no more. You can't, like, it's just so much. We seeing the ramifications. We seeing what's happening in gym culture now. Like, motherfuckers can't even look in the same vicinity of a woman without her calling him a creep and stuff like that. So you know, these type of interactions make celebrities not want to interact with the general public because of stuff like this. You know what I mean? So
yeah, that line between was it flirting and harassment is like this small. You know what I mean? If you're attractive and she feeling you, it's flirting. If you're not, it's harassment. Because
or if she get a bag out of you, like
that too.
You know what I'm saying? So that's risky because this whole she said sexual assault because you can't really prove what the fuck they saying to each other.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But if it was no cameras there, it might have been something else.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. So let me see. You see this next video. I think this next video more or less is the same. Let me double check.
But it's truly unfortunate, man. I'll tell you.
Everybody.
I mean,
first of all,
they
thank
got
you guys for coming.
This is.
I'll say they finally got the video footage, and now he's the one in the driver's seat. He's suing everybody, so I'm actually quite happy with how this turned out.
But I don't understand. One, they said they sent all the. I believe they said they sent all the footage to the NFL already. So even if those are my business partners, why are they not reaching out to me? Like, you know, I'm pretty sure he has a good relationship with the NFL prior to this situation. You know what I'm saying? So even you guys, you know what I'm saying? Not saying you got to be loyal or whatever the case may be. This is the footage that everybody's going to see publicly anyway. So why does he has to wait to see some shit that he's accused of? Why can't he get a definitive answer of why he's being accused? You know, I agree with him, you know, to be startled at your room in the middle of the night, like, yeah, pack your shit, you're done here. And you don't know what the fuck is going on. That shit is unfair, man.
That's outrageous.
Yeah, like I said, a lot of these companies, you know, the NFL specifically, they're not going to jeopardize their, you know, company for the face of one person. Like, you get what I'm saying? So even if they had all the evidence, they're not going to outright come and openly support Michael. Like, they're going to wait for everything to calm down, because any type of support does look like you're against women at this point. And obviously we understand how much of the consumer base, not really the NFL, but just how much, you know, women are consumers and stuff like that. So, you know, it's like walking on eggs.
But what are they protecting themselves from by telling him, pack your shit, you out of here? You get what I'm saying? Like, you get what I'm saying? Yo, something's going on.
They pay for the room.
This, that, and another, you getting accused, blah, blah. Like, what are breaking it down to them from there now? Because clearly they had more information than him when they came into that room to let him go. You get what I'm saying? So I don't think it's a side thing. I think it's like, let him know what he's being accused of. I don't know. Am I overreacting, or are they protecting themselves from a lawsuit? A loss that don't affect them in any way. I don't get it.
Yeah, I'm gonna drop the link real quick if y'all want to join in real quick to talk about this whole situation with Michael Irvin and give y'all y'all two thoughts or whatever the case is. So if y'all want to join in, feel free to hit that link. Like I said, we're gonna just stay on topic with, you know, the whole situation with the Michael Irvin.
Could he also you know, file anything against the Marriott for, you know, even accusing him?
And that's who he's suing.
Oh, yeah, he's suing them.
He's suing a bunch of people, actually, but
well, I mean,
Marriott is on that list, though.
Yeah, they the biggest. But
let me get the super chat real quick. Dion Lewis said, "I don't even tell women on the job their hair looks nice anymore." you gotta tone
not Dion, you smart ass.
You gotta protect yourself, man. And again, when situations like this happen, who's being protected in this situation, right? The woman. You know what I mean? Like, obviously Michael Irvin he's being aired out, but when these situations happen, just like with the Udoka situation, like, you know what I mean? We know that Udoka was in the wrong, but the woman, her name wasn't out there. You know what I mean? Like, none of her information was out there. And just like with this woman, nobody knows the woman's name. Her information wasn't put out there. And not to say so she could get heckled or everything, but if he's just as much in the spotlight, then she should be in the spotlight as well. And I understand they'd be like, oh, well, we're trying to protect the accuser. Like, which to me is kind of BS, man. But, you know, it is what it is.
I believe she should get some ramifications. Like, what did Cardi B did to the young lady that was talking stuff about her? And,
but she's not a young lady, but yeah. But I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I don't know what she was, but yeah, didn't she get in trouble somehow, some way for?
Yeah, Cardi definitely sued the pockets of her. I ain't gonna lie to
Yeah.
you.
But she ain't got no money, so I don't know how that would affect her. But hopefully the Marriott got to pay.
They gonna garnish them wages, man. Oh, you talking about the employee?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
Also,
Yeah, I mean, they're going after the company. So I mean, things like that. This is why, you know, companies be trying to distance themselves from the employee because they don't want to be held liable for, you know, things of that nature.
Yeah.
So, yeah, stuff like this that's just inevitable.
Michael has obviously not come out publicly about this till now. I think this is a story that deserves telling, and I want to present it kind of in three parts to y'all. First, going to be the background of what happened. Second is going to be about the video that you've all heard so much about. And then the third part is going to be our attempts to deal with Marriott about this incident and how do we correct it. Michael traveled to Phoenix on February 5th to cover the Super Bowl and related activities. He was staying at the Renaissance Phoenix downtown hotel, supposed to stay there from February 5th to February 13th. On February 5th, after performing his media duties, he returned to the hotel and was having water in the lobby bar. He obviously drew a lot of attention, and he began to tell the people assembled in the lobby stories, NFL stories, old stories. Several people offered to buy him a drink. He declined, saying he had work the next day. Two of the gentlemen who offered to buy him a drink are the witnesses that we have here for you today on Zoom. Phil Watkins and Bryn Davis. Phil's Australian. He's 10 or 11 hours ahead or behind, so it's a big effort for him to be here. And Bryn Davis is a Philly fan who's from Philadelphia, but he's in Europe right now. But they both agreed to come and talk to you guys about what happened. I think it's really important to understand where these witnesses come from. This is not someone that we found through an investigator. These witnesses called in to a show hosted by a guy named Tony Bruno. And Tony Bruno called us and gave us their names. When we first talked to these gentlemen, they said, I've just read about in the paper what happened last night. I was sick to my stomach. I have a wife and kids, and I sick with what happened to Michael. You'll see on the video these gentlemen. But these guys and some other eyewitnesses and other people that have come forward asked Michael to take a picture with them. He said, I'm not going to take a picture in a bar. It's a bad look. But I'll go out by the front door of the lobby and take pictures with you. This is where the video starts that I have seen. And so I can lay the scene out for you. The video it appears to be from behind the front desk of the hotel. It's certainly a desk. It might be the concierge desk. Facing out this way, where on this side is the entrance to the hotel, main entrance and lobby. And on this side is a lobby bar. There's nothing separating them wall-wise to the lobby bar. It's just the hardwood floor versus a carpet on this side. And then there's a big pole kind of right in the middle. When you first see the video, Michael is outside taking pictures, as these guys will describe to you. And the accuser here is behind the front desk of the hotel. The accuser then, as she sees Michael coming back, walks out from behind the front desk. And it appears to me to be approaching Michael and his group. Michael's group's coming in this way. Michael doesn't clearly, and no one in the group notices her yet. Unfortunately, the exact moment that they meet is behind the pole. So you can't exactly tell who talked to who, but I believe the witnesses will clean that up for us. They both meet and then they walk to where they're in the middle of the lobby. And remember, this is a public lobby with tons of people going back and forth. When they first greet each other, they shake hands. And Michael starts to talk to her. Michael, in this interaction, touches her a sum total of 4 times. He shakes her hand at the beginning. He shakes her hand at the end. He one time touches her on the elbow, as many of you who have interviewed Michael knows he does when he talks, for a very brief moment. And one other time, he buckles over laughing, and he kind of brushes her with his hand against her other elbow. That is it. She clearly never acts upset. She doesn't back away from Michael. She doesn't act like there's any kind of problems going on there at all. The conversation lasted about 1.5 minutes. As I said, they shook hands and then walk away. I want to talk about our attempts to figure out what happened and right the situation and what went from there. Okay. Michael gets woken up basically in the middle of the night and told he needs to leave the hotel. He at that point in time doesn't know who's making allegations, what happened, why, anything. We did not know anything about who this person was or exactly what the allegations were until literally
just giving a breakdown. I'm gonna skip a little bit to, I think, because he got some of the witnesses that was there speaking on the behalf of Michael. So let me see if I can skip to that.
Really leave the and some he met with named information to Michael to compare before I went back to view, but I'm not going to record anything without your permission either.
I think this is what he was talking about.
A copy of it.
I was difficult to
the
get
deadline to give us the information. I think they believed everything would slow down, but we filed an almost identical motion for expedited discovery in federal court that the federal judge granted as well. And as many of you have reported and seen, the deadline to give us the information was yesterday. When I appeared yesterday to get the video, to see the video, I was not allowed to make a copy of it. I was not allowed to take a copy. I was not allowed to use my cell phone to make a copy. We believe these things were in violation of the court's order. In fact, before I went back to view the video, I was asked to empty all my pockets and search me so that I couldn't have any recording devices. I absolutely declined and said, I'm not going to do that, but I'm not going to record anything without your permission either. All during the viewing of the video, I was required to sit in a room with the other counsel, opposing counsel, watching me, seeing what I was doing. So I was not free to talk about what was on the video. And certainly I don't have a copy that I could even talk to my client about it. Now, what is so damning about a video that was taken in a public lobby that they're now using to try to destroy this man's livelihood and reputation, that they won't just release it? We shouldn't even have to be in court with this. Marriott, I believe, should come forward. And in fact, I made a statement to the Marriott Council that I think is pretty telling. I said, would you rather like the press to hear my description of what the video shows, or would you rather just show them the video? Well, clearly, you know his answer by the fact that I'm here describing it to you. We have filed an emergency plaintiff's motion to enforce court order to try to get the video. It was filed this morning. You can certainly go on the docket and get a copy of it if you want. We're hopeful we'll get the video to share it.
Yeah, this happened. This video happened prior to obviously us playing the evidence of the video. So, but like I said, I think he had a couple of witnesses. So I'm gonna try to skip.
Enough along in the case now to say they immediately get. I think.
Yeah, the people from the evidence is what the news reporter was referring to.
The support that I've gotten from everybody, from people and from friends. And I'm not talking about just in this moment. I'm talking about over the years. People that have followed me my whole career, the peaks, and certainly through the valleys. But this sickens me. This sickens me. Because in this great country, this takes me back to a time where a white man would accuse a white woman would accuse a black man of something. And they would take a bunch of guys that were above the law, run in the barn, put a rope around his foot and drag him through the mud and hang him by the tree. Not a thought about what would happen, not an investigation, not after repeated attempts of people trying to go and say, guys, here's what really happened. Here is what really happened. Here are witnesses that'll say this. Here's witnesses that'll say that. And so we don't want to hear. We do not want to hear. How can you? How can I defend myself if I don't even know what I'm defending myself against? They asked me, they said, do you remember this girl you met in the lobby? I work and I live in hotels. I stay in hotels all year long from August to September. I meet people every day walking in and out of a lobby. I couldn't even tell you what she looked like. I don't know. I don't even know who I'm talking about when I'm talking about I'm supposed to do something. This just blows my mind that in 2023, we still dragging and hanging brothers by a tree. That blows my mind that I have no opportunity to defend. I don't even know what I'm defending. And absolutely, to not listen to the court. Marriott is above the law because I still haven't seen this tape. I haven't seen this tape. I want to see what I'm being accused of, why I've had put my whole life on hold, why my family had to endure it. If I did something wrong, I'll suffer the consequences of me doing something wrong. But if you did something wrong, you meaning them, then they should suffer the consequences of what they did wrong.
100%.
It's just sickening.
Thank you, Michael. We're now going to allow these gentlemen here, and I guess first we've got Phil. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Good morning.
Phil, if you would, Phil, if you would, tell the reporters here what you saw that night at the Marriott Hotel.
Yeah, certainly. G'day, guys. So myself and my business colleagues, we were out in the front lobby, obviously with Michael. This is the first night I've ever met Michael in my life. He was a very jovial character. He, basically was a great proponent of the sport. He loves the NFL clearly. So he gave me a great introduction to the NFL. It's the first time I've ever heard about it. And essentially, obviously, we had some fan-like pictures and then re-entered the lobby. I was checking my phone when a young lady approached Michael, and there was nothing really untoward out of the interaction because essentially I was checking the pictures, and basically I heard some laughter. I looked up, there was a few handshakes, there was some more laughter, and they went their separate ways. Michael went back to the lift and obviously continued on his night. I take it he went back to his bedroom, and the lady returned to roughly around the bar area where we actually, the three of us who had just had the picture taken, returned to the table. So, yeah, there was no, like I said, it was a very jovial conversation. There was no reason to look at it as anything untoward. And yeah, the lady returned to work. So
Phil,
we carried on our night.
Phil, are you an NFL fan?
No, I'm not actually. Believe it or not, I apologize to the guys here in Dallas, but the Super Bowl that weekend was the first game I've ever watched. Okay. So, yeah.
Okay, so
I didn't know who Michael was before this event.
And I'll just ask you one more question. Did you see anything at all that would cause you concern or you thought was inappropriate in Mr. Irvin's behavior towards this woman?
No, not at all.
Okay. And you're aware that you're actually on the video that I've seen, and so we know that you were there, correct?
Yeah, that's correct, yes.
Okay. I'm going to go to Bryn real quick. I don't even know how to swap that. Bryn, if you start talking, I think we'll be there.
Can you guys hear me?
There you go. Bryn,
good morning, everybody.
If you tell your experience and then tell about the terrible, horrible football team you root for, I'd appreciate it.
No, yeah. So like Phil had said, we had a business meeting around, I don't know, a little after 10 at the Renaissance, and I am from Philadelphia, so we recognized Michael. The other gentleman I was with, we noticed Michael on the other side of the bar, which was pretty cool. I mean, I've known who he was since we were little. I'm an Eagles fan, so I grew up hating him, but it was still exciting to see him. And so, we offered to buy him a drink because we thought it'd be cool to buy Michael Irvin a drink. And he came over and said, sorry. He said, I have ESPN tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. I can't take a drink, but I really appreciate it. And then we started going back and forth about Jalen Hurts being a fantasy or being a dynasty, blah, blah, blah. I had a really cool, quick conversation. He saw that I had my phone in my hand and asked if I wanted to get a picture, which was nice because obviously that's what I wanted to do. We stepped outside, took a few pictures, and came back in. And when we entered back in, a woman had come around the corner, kind of met Michael at the corner. They had a very brief interaction that was, super, friendly, lots of laughter. And Michael went back to his room. I went back to my seat, and 2 days later, I read about the story that we're talking about now.
At any point in time, did you see anything that caused you concern, you thought was inappropriate? Mr. Irvin should have done that, just untoward. Did you see anything like that? Well, it's Frozen's in. He is in Europe. Guys, if he comes back, I'll do it. Other than that, I think that concludes our press conference. These gentlemen have offered to take questions if you want to. We're not going to take questions based on the fact that we still have this current lawsuit going on. So I appreciate everybody showing up today.
Wait, let me say this, guys.
Okay.
You know, it kind of lost it just listening to real talk. Because I'm struggling. This is what I struggle with. You know, you try to be an ambassador of the league, and also understand that God has blessed me and given me a platform to try to touch people, try to raise people, try to lift people up. And I don't know, I met a lot of fans, but I've always tried to be good with people. You know, I'm struggling now saying, do I not talk to people? What do I do? You know, because of this kind of a situation, I know I didn't do anything wrong. I know I didn't do anything wrong, and I was trying to do everything right. So it's just, you know, though I say that, I got to come back to this moment. Had I not said to these guys, you know what, you cool guys, let's go outside and take that picture, you know, then they wouldn't have been right there with me. And that would have been a moment that I've had alone. And I know nobody's going to listen to what I say. Nobody, still, at least Marriott, don't want to hear what we have to say. Don't want to hear what I have to say. Don't even care to share it. So, you know, I just got emotional thinking about it because I'm struggling with that on what to do moving forward after I deal with all of this. That's all I want to say, guys.
Yeah, I think that's clearly that's it, man. But like I said, what more do you want from the man? He got the video evidence, he got witnesses, like, you know what I mean? Like he has everything to justify his innocence, and unfortunately, he still got to deal with, you know, the court of public opinion.
Mm-hmm.
So again, I put the link in there. I pinned it.
The Marriott is also saying that they got other angles, like it's going to prove something different.
Yeah, if they would have, they would have provided. They would have had to provide that those angles, right? Or they got.
I think that's what they're trying to get now.
Listen, man. Yeah, like I said, I put the link in the chat if y'all want to join real quick to talk about the situation with this whole Michael Irvin, man. We did, like I said, this is a quick video that we wanted just to, you know, live stream that we just wanted to have. We figured it's very important, man, especially for you know, Black men and just men in general, you know, to have these conversations, you know, because we need to have them more. So let me see who we got backstage real quick. Yo.
What's going on, fellas? How y'all doing?
Good, man. How you doing?
All right, man. Yeah, I appreciate y'all content, man. I enjoy watching y'all. Y'all do a good job too.
Appreciate it. It's been a minute, man, since we had people call in, man. We gotta get back to this, man. We've been slacking.
Yeah, I know, man. Yeah, I enjoy it when I see it too, man. Hearing other people's opinions.
So, what's your whole thoughts on this whole Michael Irvin situation?
Man, I think it's real cruel to see how the extents that women would do to go to try to ruin a man, even though I don't think it was her intention to do this.
You don't think so?
I think it was someone else put her up to it because it's how upset old boy was. I think her job was on the line.
See, that's what I was saying earlier too, man. Like she was trying to
right.
ass.
Yeah, dude was really upset, but at the same time though, Michael gave her a lot of space and respect, man. And who gonna dap somebody up before they leave off of getting disrespected?
Yeah, that don't make no sense. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that don't make no sense. And but there will be some women who will. I could hear women, because I always try to hear the rebuttal from women, right? The hypotheticals, and I could hear women saying, well, she was just so uncomfortable in that situation and she didn't want to make it more awkward, so she just complied because nobody believes what. Trust me, I know all the angles that some women will try to come from.
Yeah, they be getting to their feelings, man, when somebody address them about something. That's all it is. So they get defensive and try to find a way out. And they stick to the lie. They don't try to, even with the video evidence, I bet she still won't come out and apologize and say I was wrong. I mean, it won't matter. She need to go to jail.
Yeah, Yeah, exactly.
Already damaged that man's career and future.
Exactly. Super Bowl. Who want to miss the Super Bowl and be a part of it to make a? Come on.
Exactly. Bro, that was the last thing he probably was thinking. And you know what it is? These celebrities, you know, they should know, you know, the ramifications that they have with interactions with the public. And I'm pretty sure Michael is very knowledgeable on how he should conduct himself. You know what I mean? He even didn't want to take the selfie with the fan by the bar because he already said, you know, that wasn't a good look. Like, let's take it over here. So
Yeah, he knew the cameras were out there.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he knows how to conduct himself, and I know he wouldn't have conducted himself in an inappropriate manner. You know what I mean? It just doesn't add up. You get what I'm saying? So I don't know, man.
But now he's even more fearful. You get what I'm saying? A part of being a public figure and being so high up there, people just gonna want to be around you. And now you just I feel for him. You get what I'm saying? Like, I don't want you to say hello to me, or we can say hi.
Hard to trust.
We're gonna have to have a fucking cardboard box between us and all that shit. Like, fuck it.
It's like you got to walk around like always filming yourself, you know, because you never know when you
gotta have a body cam on at all times.
You got to hire somebody to have a drone to follow you around and stuff.
Exactly. Like, unfortunately, bro, that's what it's gonna have to come down to, man. Motherfuckers have to wear a GoPro everywhere they go. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Tell me.
It's just unfortunate, man. So
you gotta do protect yourself out here, man. Fuck it.
Exactly, man. Anything else you want to add real quick?
Nah, I just wanted to chime in because I think y'all doing a good job, and what y'all pull up to talk about good content. I appreciate y'all, fellas, man.
Yo, appreciate you, man. Where you from?
I'm from South Carolina, man.
Oh,
I'm a truck driver, so I'm in my truck right now. So.
Oh, okay. You know, I was gonna say something, but I was like, I don't want to assume and shit.
Shout out to the truck driver.
Truck driver.
Right, man. Y'all don't get enough credit, man, but y'all definitely putting it down. So shout out.
Y'all need some transport. Go ahead and look up Big Stacks. I'll do some transport.
Mm-hmm. All right, appreciate you.
Yeah, man. Appreciate y'all, man. Keep it up.
Yo, man, get your own gesture, Ace. Fuck out of here.
I did it first. If you look at the replay, so you know what I mean, you follow me.
Nigga got the instant replay. This shit is slow. Like, yeah.
I was 1.3 seconds faster. I ain't go
1.3 seconds. Oh, I mean, if he said it, man. Yo, what's good, my guy?
What's going on with you? What's going on with all y'all, man?
Chilling, man. What's your thoughts on this Michael situation?
Well, I was about to say, first and foremost, I feel like it's hard. It's a horrible decision a horrible situation for him. I think like any person, or especially young, older black man, or and someone that was as esteemed as him, to get caught up in something like that, no one wants to see that. No one wants to see someone great like that get tarnished. And given the fact that they did have video evidence of him, and given the fact that they do have like very much clear evidence that he didn't do anything wrong, I think that's awesome for him. I hope that he's able to kind of at some point get some therapy if he needed to kind of like go through something like that, because it is traumatic. It's extremely traumatic. And I don't think we do get enough not enough, but I don't think we hear stories from men that are falsely accused, and hear about what they have to do to get back to like feeling comfortable and not second guessing themselves. But I also want to say, I feel like there is a nuance to it from the standpoint of like Michael Irvin. And when you're talking about celebrities in general, celebrities are very much targeted in different ways that regular everyday men are not always targeted in the same exact way. So someone like a Michael Irvin is definitely more prone to possibly getting women, but not just women, people after his money in any types of way, whether that be through sexual manipulation, through a financial advisor coming in and fishing some money out of him. So I think that is another nuance on it as well. And the last point that I do want to say is that I do think, though, when we do have these conversations, I feel like the problem that I do have sometimes is that the idea of the conversation is skewed to this idea of like, man, damn, see, these women just be lying, bro. And it's like, if we really look at any of the stats that talks about like false accusations, falsely accused, is really at the highest it's probably 10, and at the lowest it's probably 4%. So for the most part, most people women, men aren't lying when they say that they are being sexual assaulted. Does that mean that people don't lie? Oh, obviously people lie. But with any stat, like it's very much akin to, I feel like it's very much akin to like when like I wouldn't use Jussie Smollett to say that, well, dad, you know, black people be lying about racism or when they get racially profiled by the cops. Like no one would say that. They would say that Jussie Smollett thing that happened to him is a one-off. He sucks and he's crap because he did that. But that does not speak for the phenomenon that is happening when you talk about black people being persecuted. Same thing for people being sexually assaulted, and then more specifically women being assaulted. That is not the overall thing. Women are not mostly lying or claiming that people are sexually assaulting them when they're not. You probably would catch more women lying about not being, like if someone just asked, like, have you ever been sexually assaulted? You may find more women that may lie and say they haven't because of the shame that comes with that. The shame, the trauma, the PTSD that comes with that as well. So I just want to say that.
But when we talk about, I agree with you, but when we talk about the false allegations, those are just the ones that we know of as far as they prove their innocence. We don't know how many men are sitting in jail right now off of false allegations that we have no idea. We don't have that data. True. So I totally get what you're saying about, you know, it might be a small minority, but the fact that it's even happening at all is an issue, especially when we have a history of it. Like we could go back since Emmett Till days. You get what I'm saying? So, you know, the Jussie Smollett, you could say is a one-off situation, but how many times has a black man lied about, you know, racism throughout history? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, or an incident that happened with racism. But when we go back to talk about black men and being falsely accused, whether it's, like I said, Emmett Till, the Central Park 5, what's that Brian guy?
Brian Banks.
You know, there's a lot of stories that we can go through and dissect that happens when men get falsely accused. And, you know, like I said, it's not a majority, but we just honestly don't know, and it shouldn't happen at all, honestly. But you know, it is what it is.
I believe that the stats.
No, I'm sorry.
I believe the stats is flawed, but I would agree that people are scared to announce their accusers or say the situation they're in, like how he was saying. You know what I'm saying? It just the people that are falsely making these claims, it makes it harder for people to really feel comfortable to come out with their situations as well.
And do you agree? Do you agree that people should suffer the same ramifications if they falsely accuse somebody? Because again, we have people who falsely accuse people and then they come out and tell the truth, and it seems like there's no ramifications on that. And this is like, oh, well, you made a mistake.
Absolutely, I think that there has to be some type of, you know, some laws put on the books or something to say like, hey, like I mean, I just think that that just makes sense. I don't know how like lawmakers are like slow when it comes to these type of things, but I guess I don't know, because of all which is bad when it comes to sexual assault and like the way we investigate it, the way that it's handled. I mean, if you talk about a lot of the great kids that are like just sitting in some of these offices, like it's hundreds and thousands of them just sitting there, because a lot of times it's a lot that goes into it. It's a lot of he said, she said, I'm messing my words up, but it's a lot of just, you know, people talking about what their stories is and going back and forth. So no, like I said, at the end of the day, I think that there definitely should be ramifications if you do make false allegations.
I think that's a double-edged sword, man. I ain't gonna lie to you, because it's already hard to get people to come out and be like, oh yeah, okay, I lied. You know what I mean? So imagine if when you admit that you going to jail for 20 years now.
We're not even talking about the admitting part. I get what you're saying about that, but I'm talking about when they properly actually do the investigation. And it comes back inconclusive, or it comes back like, you know, there is no evidence there, like, you know what I'm saying, then there has to be some type of system in play, man. You can't just let people
I hear you, but in cases like this, there's hardly ever any evidence to support the latter of what they're saying. You know what I mean? This is a case where it's
based off hearsay.
Yeah, he happened to be in public and they got some video. You know what I mean? Normally this is like in the hotel room, or, you know what I mean, someplace private. They don't really got no video footage, so it's not really. I don't think it will really be feasible for you to make that a law. That, I mean, I would love to.
I mean, you will be quick to throw somebody in jail, but you're not quick to.
That's because
the same ramifications like that.
That's because the system is set up to convict people, not to prove people guilty.
That's what I'm saying.
I definitely agree with that.
So
and
it's
I want
easier. No, go ahead, bro.
No, I just want to speak to something that you did say too when you were talking about because you are right about some of that data is skewed. Like the data is a little bit skewed. It isn't conclusive at the end of the day. I will also say that just like there are men that get falsely accused and that are sitting in jail, there are men that are walking free that are absolutely guilty as well. If one is happening on the other side, it's definitely happening on the other side. Dudes that get off and like they are 100% just in the wrong, and because there isn't enough evidence, they just get off. So I think it is. It sometimes it can be a lot, but for the data that we do have, I do feel confident enough to say that most people, men, women, whoever, aren't lying when they're talking about getting sexually assaulted, while also saying that Michael Irvin deserves as much justice as he could possibly get in this.
But the thing, I totally agree with you. But my thing is, I just want just men in general to be more protective about just their environments, because that honestly, this could be any of us. You know what I mean? Like any woman. We have a podcast. We deal with women all the time. It ain't nothing for a woman to just accuse us of, oh, he tried to make an advanced movie, like, he tried to do something X, Y, and Z. Like, so we have to, us as men, just, and not trying to paint women as these, like you said, they just these women that's trying to destroy men, but men do need to do a better job at just making sure they're aware of their surroundings, not putting themselves in certain situations where they could get, in a situation that could destroy them.
I hear you, Eli, about what can we do? Like, it's easier said than done. Like, I think until women are, or people that are falsely accusing, are getting ramifications for what they're doing, I don't see us being safe. He was safe. He's on fucking camera, bro. You get what I'm saying? Like, how much safer can you be? You saying hello to someone.
I did want to say that, like, I think like in this case, when you're talking about Michael Irvin, like, I do get the need to say, like, yo, like, as men, we got to be better and do stuff. But like, at the same time, we got to let this brother be a victim. He was a victim in this instance. He was a victim to someone having false accusations against him. And just like we could see a woman that is sexually assaulted or whatever, and I'm not equating the two, but if that happens to her and she's sexually assaulted, she's a victim. When someone falsely accuses you, you're a victim. He's a victim in this instance. So let him live in that, and give him. And is anybody give him support? I mean, for people to give him support, and just make sure that he's good and stuff like that.
A lot of the situations when you do find out that the person is not guilty or it didn't happen up, like, after it just swept under the rug. It's like, oh, move on to the next story. We don't care about how he feels.
Black men ain't allowed to be the victims, and when we are, that usually don't pan out in our favor. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, so I don't know, man. It's just, something got to be done. But again,
I get what you're saying. I definitely understand everything you brothers are saying, and I do think like sometimes the slow road to like letting. So it's like one of those things. Like the big problem I feel. This is how I feel. In my opinion, I feel like the big problem is that we don't take sexual assault serious when we're talking, and we don't. And a lot of times, especially when we're talking about women, and I think especially when we're talking about Black women, we don't really take it serious, and we don't listen sometimes to the things that they're talking about. And what happens is when the opposite effect, because like I said, if we're talking about, even though skewed and all those stats, there have been studies done on them. When the majority is that, these women. Most women or people in general aren't lying about sexual assault. And the way that we go about it, the judicial system goes about it, people become bitter. They do become bitter, very rightfully so. And they become very cyclical of the law, of the greater public, and also too of the justice system. So when the opposite happens, when you have someone that gets falsely accused, and you're like, oh, well, shoot, I'm a victim too, and stuff like that. You have people that's like, man, y'all don't care about sexual assault anyway, because y'all only say stuff when someone's getting falsely accused. Y'all don't say nothing when, I'm not talking about y'all, I'm talking about people in general.
No, I get what
y'all don't say nothing when your favorite rapper or someone come out and say like, yo, he was roofing girls. Nobody coming out and making no live stream about that. So it's like we making a live stream when someone is innocent. So I feel like the energy has to be shown on both sides of the spectrum for us to be able to have like better, more productive conversation about it.
But even with the energy you talk about, when a man says he's been sexually assaulted, there's no energy towards that. He get laughed at.
I absolutely agree, but I think also too, men have to take it as serious as well. Like a lot of, like for instance, when that thing happened with Terry Crews, how many brothers was out here saying like, man, he this, he that. How you gonna let somebody just do you like that? Nobody saw him as a victim just because he cocky and stuff like that. But the reason why that was done to him is because he's the big, buff black dude, and they feel as though like, oh well, if you swing on me and you annihilate and you beat the mess out of me in this public place, now you gonna look like the dude that overreacted. And we didn't give him that grace. And a lot of times we don't, and I'm talking about us as a community, we do not give brothers that space to be able to be vulnerable. And I think it's all of us that have to do that. But I want to say this, I don't want to leave you brothers. I want to take up you brothers' time. I'm at work. I gotta get ready to get up out of here. It was nice chopping it up with y'all. I will hope to do it again.
I appreciate you, man. Appreciate your perspective.
No doubt, man.
Thanks for joining.
Yeah, like I said, man, he had a lot of good points in there, man. But like I said, I'm just about holding everybody accountable. And you know, obviously in this situation, we have to hold women accountable, just like to hold the men accountable.
What's the accuracy on a lie detector test? Like,
I don't even know. Like, it got to be in the high 90s. Like,
it can't be, bro, because it would be used more often if it was that high. Don't you think?
I always wonder why they don't be using the lie detector or what's that? The polygraph test.
Polygraph, yeah.
Like, I don't know why they don't use it as much.
Because I think it's because people have shown to be able to beat it. You know what I mean? Like control their emotions or whatever. But yeah, I think if we could figure out a way to find something that you can't lie on, I mean, that would be very crucial to a case like this or cases like this.
Yeah, I just think when it comes to like, you know, somebody potentially jeopardizing their lives and their livelihood and then ultimately their family's livelihood, you know what I mean? That I think that becomes a little bit different. You get what I'm saying? Because this is you're talking about a husband, a father, a brother who could be, you know, being in jail because of somebody lying on him. Like you get, so it's not just about him anymore. It's about his loved ones, his family. Like, you know, you get what I'm saying? So
yeah,
it makes sense. Yeah, I put the link in the I'm gonna drop it again. Anybody want to call in real quick?
Oh yeah, my fault. Warlord 0331. He said, "Keep it up, you all, man. Appreciate you."
Yeah, appreciate that, man. Like I said, man, these conversations gotta have. These are tough conversations, but you know, I'm glad that we're able to have the conversation with y'all. Like I said, I dropped the link in there if y'all wanna jump hop in. If not, then you know, we're gonna entertain y'all for a little bit more before we get up out here. We ain't want to hold y'all up.
Oh yeah, my only issue with the ramifications for the accusers who are lying is that, you know, how their confessions had gotten a lot of people out of jail. Like even with the dude you was talking about earlier, what's his name again, Drew?
Brian Banks.
He would have been in jail for 15, 20 more years had she not come forward. You know what I mean? So if there was actual ramification, she might have been more hesitant to come forward. That's my only issue with the ramifications.
I think another thing need to change as well. Men need to press charges to their accusers. You know what I'm saying? We kind of like slide and throw it under the rug or let them.
Did he end up anything to his accuser or not?
Motherfuckers be talking about, oh, God told me to forgive you and all this religious shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like they don't never try to press charges, bro. They put listen, man, I ain't even gonna talk about
like Rose said.
I mean, I think a lot of men are embarrassed to go to a fucking police station. Like, yeah, she grabbed my dick. You get what I'm saying? Like, it may be embarrassing for a lot of dudes because, you know, picture me saying that to y'all. We talking, and I'm like, yo, man, shorty really grabbed my shit, boy. Y'all niggas looking at me like, boy, what's up?
Hey, I'm talking about people that did jail time, came out, was exonerated. I rarely see them ever press charges or countersue or whatever the case is. I don't give a fuck if she ain't got no money, bro.
I don't think they even have it. I think, you know, a part of their freedom is like a clean. I don't think it's nothing they could do.
Exactly. So again, not only does she not suffer any, criminal ramifications, she don't just suffer any personal like she just got guilt. Like, you know what I mean? Like that's
motherfuckers be grateful just to be out. Like, oh shit, I'm happy you said it, man.
That's true, man. That's true, man. Yo, what's good, J Dot?
What's up, man? What's happening? What's good, y'all? All right?
Yeah, we good. Where you from?
Houston, Texas, man.
I was going to say you gotta be from the South, man. I heard that accent, like, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So,
hey, man, it's country down here, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we got to get away from New York, man. We might have to migrate to the South or some shit. I don't know.
There's some women out here for y'all. Come get them. I just had 2 points, man. The first point is I personally went through that myself with some falsely accusing and all that. I ain't have to do no jail time. It was grade school, but it's definitely a situation that'll make you think real deeply about how you handle a situation. Like he was saying in the video, like, I don't know how I go forward from here because you don't know if you can say something, because it could be anything. You could say some of the nicest things, and it'd be turned the other way around. And the other point was y'all was saying, well, why guys don't say nothing back? To be honest, men just be like, man, I'm glad it's over with. You know what I mean? I'm glad it's over with. I'm glad I ain't dealing with it, and I can just go on by my life. Because at the end of the day, it's still gonna drag your name through the mud further if you continue to talk about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
that's like
the
Johnny Depp situation. Right. He had to spend so much money in court, like, you know what I mean, just to prove his innocence. A lot of men, even celebrities, they ain't even got money like that to keep constantly going to retaining a lawyer and going to court back and forth. Like, that money run out eventually, which is why a lot of them settle, because they're like, you know what, it's going to cost me more to prove my innocence than me just settling this. Like, you get what I'm saying?
Quick question though for you, J Dot. When you went through that scenario, was it already people just going against you just off rip? Like, okay.
Like, all right, situation was real quick. I was in the 6th grade in the class, shooting the dozens, shooting the shits, talking shit, capping, however you want to call it, with the guys in the class. Girl interject, I got on her ass about some shit. Of course, as a kid, I'm probably saying she stank or something like that. Went on for the next day or two, the next day or two, like it was nothing. Went to class. She came to class. We all was in there like it was nothing. Got pulled out of class by the police, the teacher, the principal, everybody, saying that I said that I was going to do something at some SA tour. I was like, what? And I'm like, I'm in the 6th grade, bro. I'm virgin.
Yeah.
Big time virgin. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I don't even know the process. So, and technically, long story short, I look after all of the information come back as I get older and all that, I go back to school. So her mom comes up to the school and says that she doesn't feel comfortable with having her daughter at the school unless something is done to me, or they're gonna make a big ordeal about it. You know what I mean? So that's why they end up sending me to like an alternative school and shit. And my mom just, I guess, kind of like backed off of it because she didn't want me to get drugged any further than just the local school and her mom and stuff knowing. It don't make, it's stupid. So I was like, all right, but I come back, I do my time over there, I come back to the school. They had a guy, they coerced him into saying that I did it. So yeah, we was no longer friends after that. But it was, it just get real deep and you just be like, damn, that's how I mean, a blink of an eye. I ain't had no idea about how.
I'm pretty sure y'all both was in the shit, but they they offered him no trouble if
they just accused me.
Yeah,
Which was crazy. And I told him, I was like, bro, don't ever speak to me in your life, bro. Ever. You know what I'm saying?
Man. Like, yeah, I'm sorry you had to go through that, man. But like you said, that does shape a narrative around like, how you even interact with women moving forward. Like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, you don't want to be too, forward. You gotta walk on eggshells at this point because you want to protect. At the end of the day, you gotta protect yourself as a man. Like, and that's just in any aspect, but especially when it comes to, women, trying to falsely accuse you. You know what I mean? So it's tough, man. I'm just glad that he had the proper evidence, man.
Yeah, because like that was the time where, because I'm how old y'all is, but I'm 90s baby, you know what I mean? Early 90s baby. And this was before they was really recording everything in classrooms and all that. So it was just he say, she say, you know what I mean? And I'm like, I'm thinking to myself, even at that age, I'm in the understanding of how they treat black men or just men, period, when that kind of allegation is put on you. So I'm worried about more than just going to alternative school or get suspended or expelled.
Your future, definitely.
Yeah, bro. I'm looking like, damn, everybody.
And motherfuckers be putting that shit on your record, school record and shit like that. Like, you know what I mean? Niggas, you be in college, niggas looking at some shit from 6th grade, like, yo, yeah. Like
you don't even know what the fuck you talk. Yo, you a kid, you just talking shit.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Right. I do understand where a parent want to come in and defend their child. That's their right. But, you know, I also feel like, you know, they should definitely have you talk it out. I ain't trying to ruin no other kid's life. You hear what I'm saying? At the same time.
But we men, we think they not going to come at it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just unfortunate, man. But anything else you want to add real quick?
Nah, man. Hey, look, I got tuned into y'all not too long ago. Well, not even so not too long ago, a while ago, but not too long ago.
Right,
you know, right. I like your content, man. And why, Eli?
Yo, appreciate
had
that.
to bring
man.
that back, bro. Why? She went crazy.
You said you went on Houston, right?
Yeah, I'm in Houston.
Yeah, Mike. Everybody keep telling us to pull up to Houston. We're gonna have to come to Houston, I promise. Like,
we got a lot of supporters out of Houston.
We do got a lot of supporters in Houston, so we definitely gonna have to
make because we deal with all different types of backgrounds of people because it's a melting pot. So all of those people that y'all bring on, like that masculine girl y'all had with the little top hat that got into it with you. Hey, we got tens on thousands of them right here in Houston. So
that's an issue for y'all out there too, like
a gigantic issue. Because I mean, you can make money out here, so girls will make bread. But you know, and that attitude gets crazy, and it don't even have to just be the money. It could just be any reason. Y'all know that.
Yeah.
And easy to do it out here. Sugar daddy's running wild.
Madness, man. Yo, but J-Dot, man, we appreciate you for calling in, man.
Very much, brother.
Appreciate
you.
Yeah, see what I'm doing. I waited for them to get everything. You get what I'm saying? The last two. Yeah,
you still end broadcast duty until further notice, man.
Yeah, I'm saying, yo, listen, man. I see y'all in the back, man. We're gonna get to a couple of people again. I got the link, and I got the link pinned. I think if y'all want to call in real quick to talk about this whole Michael Irvin situation, yeah, feel free to hit that link, man. So
wait, is that? Oh, what's good, Orange Pill?
What's going on, y'all?
Yo, real quick, explain the meaning behind this orange. Cause obviously we had a red pill, the blue pill. What's orange pill?
Oh, it's something I like made up. It's like basically like I'll be talking to women at work or online who always talk about like dudes who like they aren't as educated as them.
Mm-hmm.
So I try to give it not from a high value man standpoint to the women, but more like educated standpoint. Basically like your education, like my education versus yours, salary stuff that don't matter. Mm-hmm. So like even you might say a dude who is like not as educated as you might be able to talk to him a certain way, which you shouldn't. But for me, you can't come up with that education stuff. So what do y'all really have? So I'm just giving an educated man standpoint. We're looking for the same stuff basically as men who aren't educated in a wife. So it's not no different. We're not looking for somebody who is intellectually equal as us and all that stuff they be talking.
Yeah. Nah, I totally agree. I agree with you, man. So what's your thoughts on this whole Michael Irvin situation?
Oh, it's wild, man. The guilty until proven innocent. It's absolutely true. And I saw it a lot at work. I'm a nurse. So I deal with a lot of females at my job, and I had a lot of stuff. I know, and it kind of happened with the Tory Lanez thing.
Yo, first of all, like, make sure you protect yourself because I know them women be looking.
Yeah.
Scrubs, you hear what I'm saying? So you just got to make sure you protect yourself. You get what I'm saying? So
look, man,
don't look too long, like. You know?
Oh no, see, I'm already married before I even started nursing, so I'm good now. But like, it's with the Tory Lanez thing is kind of like somewhat similar to Michael Irvin thing. So I asked some girls at work, I was like, so what y'all think like the Tory Lanez thing? Now I thought they was gonna say, no, he's guilty as hell. He guilty. He did it. These girls at work, maybe majority have said, yo, I think the friend did it. Mm-hmm. However, he needs to get in trouble because it's karma for what he did before. I'm like, what? How that work? So They talk about karma. I don't know about y'all, but I don't know how karma worked like that. But I was like, wait a minute, karma, because he's been in some trouble and stuff. I was like, yeah, he beat up somebody. I don't know who he beat up, but I'm like, wait a minute, karma.
August, who he beat up? August.
But women is crazy, man. I ain't going.
No, that karma is that thing is deadly, and it is like this thing, like guilty till proven innocent, and just like we always have to constantly. It's never good enough. It's like, okay, you do this, you do that, you become this man, you become that, and you're still not enough. It's always something else, and as much as I like, even at my job where I'm like, I'm over people, they still, because I gotta be careful. I'm the only guy in there. I'm in a women-run place, so I kind of have to be careful how I talk to them. A lot of sisters in there, but at the same time, you gotta make sure you stand up for yourself and you exert yourself. So it's a weird kind of thing you gotta balance sometimes when you're like one of the few men who's over, the only man who's over any leadership, and you got like in accusations as well. So like I've had people who kind of talk to me a certain way, some females, but I gotta be careful, especially if we're in a setting when we're by ourselves.
Understand.
And I don't, want to be the threatening black man, or of any kind, whether I'm talking to a white girl, or talking to a black girl, whatever the case may be. So it is tough when you're in a certain position to really exert yourself, even if you're having just a conversation, But at the same time, being the only male in a certain like nursing, you get a lot of that sexual inappropriateness too. Comments like, "Oh, okay, I see what you would do on there. You said there, touching and stuff like that." So you gotta, it's like a double standard. I couldn't go around just touching all the women I work with.
It's cool when they do it.
Oh yeah, especially they see a male and it's a bunch of estrogen all around the place. They see a male come in there, so they kind of have to be like, whether I got a ring on my finger or not, You hear certain things, they say subtle things. You're like, oh, okay, I see what's going on. Yeah. It's tough. And
nobody goes seriously if you complain about it.
Oh, absolutely not. They're all women up there. So it's like it would be more. I could see it, and even though it's never happened, I can see it to where like they would honestly even tell me. I mean, you're a guy. Come on, man. Just deal with it. So it's tough. And I commend you for your conversations. I watched that when y'all had that conversation with that cat in the hat girl, whatever her name is.
Yeah, everybody got a different name for her. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I know. I don't know what to call her. I don't know. Cat in the hat.
That's a good one. I like Cat in the hat. I ain't gonna hold you. It was a furry hat, furry black hat.
It was a furry hat. Yeah.
Yeah, that's funny.
So I see those girls all the time at work, and just to give y'all a snippet of what I see at work before I go, a lot of the young girls that are making all this money, all these nurses, there's a lot of stuff that they got that they ain't telling y'all. What they're doing is all of them are in debt. They're not paying their student loan debt back. The $20,000 not paying it back. They even told me they're just going on trips, traveling, going on trips, coming to work, going on trips.
They wait for Joe Byron to clear them their debt. So
it ain't looking too good either. So they said, they waiting on one of y'all to come there and pay off that student loan debt they got. And they all live, and I'm like, how y'all going on these trips? I got a mortgage and stuff. I'm like, how? They all still live with their mama, and they all making travel nurses. They all making $80,000, $100,000 a year, but they not getting no house. So all that homeowner stuff and all that stuff, that's BS.
They waiting for some Romeo to come put the glass shoe on their foot and take their debt and pay their credit.
Out of my house in the car.
Yeah, while dealing with dudes with no cars. I'm like, I was at work. I was like, yo. Having a car is like having a jet plane for a lot of these niggas y'all dealing with. Excuse my language. I'm sorry. I missed it. I'm like, every one of y'all, it's like, I keep finding guys I got to take care of. I'm telling you, this is all I'm hearing at work. So if y'all ever want to know what these nurse ladies are doing,
where you from?
I'm from the DC, Maryland area.
Okay.
DMV. Shout out to DMV.
Right.
So would you describe your job as stressful?
Not right now. No, it's chill. I work overnight. So I work like 12-hour shifts. It's stressful in regards to like being in leadership. You kind of have to like you got a lot of personalities, a lot of cattiness. A lot of these women don't even like each other, and they got all these different problems. So you got to be supervisor. You got to be Montel Williams. You gotta be Dr. Phil.
You gotta be Dr.
No, you gotta be everybody. Like you're not even drained from work. You're drained from. You gotta be referee. I mean, you gotta be it all. I mean, dealing with all those personalities.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, it's a balancing act, dealing with a lot of emotion. But once it gets quiet at night, everybody's settled. But I don't like her. I'm leaving early because I don't want to work with her and all this stuff. Is like I don't. Yeah, so.
Yeah, man. But yo, again, man, we appreciate you for calling in, man. Give your ones and twos, man. We're gonna try to go live more often.
Yeah, I like this, y'all.
Everybody,
Right.
you know what I mean? So, but again, we appreciate you.
Hey, no problem. Have a good night.
You too, man.
Yo, John.
Hey, hi.
What's good?
How are you?
Yo, we good, man. We good. How are you?
I'm good.
Where you from?
Virginia.
Oh, okay.
DMV though.
We spoke
I'm with my guy that just left.
You called in before, right?
I've called in during the Lori Harvey and Michael B. Jordan issue, and then I called in one more time for something else I don't remember, but that was the first time I called in.
Got you. Yeah, you looked familiar. So
yeah.
So what's your thoughts on this? And Mark, I see you back. I see you backstage. We got you next. But what's your thoughts on this whole Michael Irvin situation?
Well, I'm an immigrant. Since I've been here, it feels like while interacting with women in any formal manner, be it like two professionals or let's say I'm in the service industry and I'm trying to help someone, let's say they're a resident or they're a customer or something like that, you always have to have a body cam. It feels that way because they will misconstrue your words. They will misconstrue, let's say, your body language or the mannerisms of your face, the tone of your voice, the intent of how you were directing them about things, which is what I see with this situation, because there is like I've been in the service industry for I think a year now. A person will try to make me feel like I'll say this to your boss, I'll say this and that and this and that because you did not want to do this for me, and it makes me feel like every time I have to put my phone on voice record without them knowing, or just record and then let them talk and talk and talk and talk and talk. And then I always try to de-escalate the situation, but they seem to want to make sure that they leave with me feeling guilty, with me feeling somehow I should have treated her better while I was just trying to do my job. So in a way, it really puts men in a very difficult position, because either you're the boss and you'll still be accused of something by whether it's an employee or a client, or you're a customer, and as in Irvin's situation, an employee gets to accuse you of something. So it is hard. It is hard because the courtesy and mannerisms that were built for the hundreds and hundreds of centuries of years that men and women have lived in this modern communities, say since the 1800s till now, we kind of knew the decorum of, okay, a man should do this, a woman should do that. Now the more it's eroded and watered down, and chivalry is dead for whatever reason, be it the man or the women who killed it, for whatever reason, women now feel like, okay, I could say this about him, and because I'll be believed, well, I'll carry no guilt about it. Yeah. So I've had nurses in this institution where they take care of our elderly population. Some of the women tend to confess about things that are not very good that they did when they were 50, 60 years younger. And then you are like, oh, what, why did you do that? And then they just say, for whatever reason. And at that moment, she says, I really do regret that. But there's nothing you can do about it. The man, whether it's publicly or privately or in a certain community, is already there's already mud on his shirt. Like you're never gonna walk back from that. It's either you move or I don't know, you just settle to being the lowest, most mediocre person ever.
Yeah.
But it's hard, to be honest. It's hard compared to where I come from and where I was raised. I can understand that when girls tell me or women tell me like, okay, I've endured this, I've endured that, I've had to dodge this and do that and do this. We take it as the reality of life. We don't take it as I have to raise my voice at the top of my lungs in the most highest peak of social media hill so that he can lose his job. No one's up to that. I'm like, I need to get, let's say it's a degree I'm doing and an instructor or professor is not treating me very right. I'll see a way how to dodge him, get my degree, I'm out of here. I won't sit there and be like, so what should I do about it on social media, or how should I slander him as much as possible? No one is out to get you. Everyone is out to see how can I make it in life without calling so much attention to me, I was previously I was looking at an interview about the young lady that had an issue with the former President Clinton. After that whole situation, wherever she went, there was that thing about her, unspeakable cloud about her.
You mean Monica?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so she said it like wherever I went to apply for a job, to do this, to do that, to do this, there's that thing that we cannot talk, which is what we, let's say, outside of the United States might be concerned about. But here it's like, well, we're not concerned about that. And for some reason, it's very convenient that the women in such situations end up being inconspicuous until the case makes sure that he comes up to the forefront of becoming, let's say, the same way as Johnny Depp's fiance became. Okay, so we know her because she's a star, but they end up being these anonymous women that just worked and then something happened and then he's the one that is on the front pages of tabloids and stuff, but she's hidden somewhere, keeping her job or this. But then, so we really need to, the thing is, it's hard, but we really need to get together as a community to redefine how we interact. Should we keep a 6 feet rule as in it used to be in COVID, or what should happen? Like, should men speak with their hands folded in their pockets, or like, should we make sure whenever we speak we're in view of a security camera? Like, how?
It's almost going to get to the point where men and women can't interact with each other. It's almost
to that part.
The thing is, it don't matter if you stand 6 feet or if your hands is folded, if there ain't video footage to prove that.
I just want to ask y'all, do y'all remember how we used to talk like 20 years ago? Like, people like used to, yo, damn, you got a fat ass. That's it. Yo, look at her chest. Shorty walking in. Oh, I want to fuck him. You know what I'm saying? We all talk crazy to it. And yo, people are, compared to what we were saying back then,
it's way not there now. It's way out there. It's not even there right now. Like, you used to catcall the person and then just turn around and do whatever and then leave, or they just be flattered, like, oh, they find me, they fancy me. But now they just whip out their phone, look at him. I'm like, oh, why? It's the same thing. It's the same thing with I'm not sure if I heard you guys talk about it or I heard it at a different platform about the girls that record stuff in the gym. You find them, camera set up, and then you're like, yeah, she can't bench press that. She's her knee's about to pop.
She thinking you're looking at her figure.
Yeah, but I'm like, 1, 2. She's not gonna do the fourth. I know for sure, and truly, she's not gonna do it. But because the camera's there, I ain't stepping a foot in that direction because of that camera. So I don't know what they called upon themselves. I think Eli said it in one of the previous podcast. Feminism, with all the good things it brought early on, eventually, right now, it's made things a little bit more difficult for the plain normal Jane that just needs normal
and
Ace the Goat.
So many payouts, because people are not even trying to go to court. They're trying to get the payouts so they don't have to get to court. So all these payouts is the reason why Michael Irvin is going through this. You know, so many payouts from other celebrities who just don't want to go through it, whether they're right or they're wrong, guilty, not guilty, to prevent all this issues. Okay, you're going to sign this paper. This shit never happened. You can't talk about it no more. I get now you're $50,000 richer, or whatever the case may be. And now women are feeling more comfortable. Oh, sis, you heard what I did? Yes, sis, tell me. So it makes it harder for the women that's actually going through these situations, man. I'm sorry.
It's the easy money, right?
Yeah. It was a story a little while back. A woman was suing a man because he gave her CPR when she was choking. Or was it a Heimlich or something? And it's like, I'm trying to save your life, bro. Like, what the fuck? You joking, bro?
That's crazy, bro. That's crazy.
Yeah. You remember the one, I think it was, you said?
No, that's what they'll tell you. Did I tell you you could save my life?
Yeah.
That's it. There was the other. Yeah, there was the other one. I think it was during COVID where the lady was not pleased with how the date went, so he took the man to court for $10,000.
Oh yeah,
and I was like, it was a mutual agreement. We'll meet at a certain place at a certain time, sit and talk. Whether you're pleased or not, it does not make me $10,000 liable.
She won that shit too. That's crazy.
She won?
I think she won. Did she win?
I didn't follow up. Okay, the judge that was there, like it was a trial or something. The judge that listened to the thing kind of dismissed her and made sure to redefine some things. You cannot do this in this court. You have to take your case to this court. So I was like, is it thrown out or what's going on?
I could be wrong, man. But
yeah, I think some people reacted to it. I did not follow up to it, but I was like, wow, women have gotten this low to like, all right, you wasted my whatever hours we spent talking. I need $10,000 from you. Is he worth $10,000 for the 2-3 hours he talked?
Yeah,
no.
I mean, like that whole that situation is crazy, man. But Josh, man, we appreciate you for calling in. I know I got the Jew Wi-Fi right now. My shit acting crazy, but again, man, we appreciate you for calling in. We gonna get to the next caller, man. But appreciate you.
All right, thank you, Eli. Keep it tight, man.
Appreciate you.
All right.
My Wi-Fi's been good ever since, man. That was only that one time, bro.
This the comedian Mark X.
Yo, I'm on the speech.
It was goody, Mark.
What is happening right now, bro? I've been seeing you backstage. What is going on in the background?
Oh man, I'm at work, bro.
You in a truck?
A truck driver?
Yeah, man,
where are you driving through, bro? You look like you're driving through a fucking desert storm or something.
Hit the horn one time, man.
Man, I'm not gonna hit the wall, man. I'm local, man. I don't do long range and nothing like that, though. But I got a funny story to tell y'all though. I've gotten falsely accused before, and that's not what's up, bro.
That's the
white
funny
girl
story.
I met.
You say you got a funny story.
Ain't no funny about that. Like,
no, I mean it's not funny, but you know, people going to
people gonna laugh.
Anyway. Yeah, people gonna be like, well, you shouldn't have did this, you shouldn't have messed with it. It was a white girl I was messing with. Lesson learned. Let's just put it like that. A lesson learned. I messed with a white girl like 8 years ago.
Umar shaking his head right now, like, you know what I mean?
Brother, that's why I'm pro-black as I am now. That's why I
50
can't do
lashes,
the swine anymore.
50 lashes?
I can't do the swine no more. Man, it was so pretty much, long story short, her brother was dating one of my friends, one of my homegirls. So the girl was thirsty. She was hitting my inbox up. She was always hitting me up thirsty, and I never really paid attention to her until one day I ended up breaking up with the girl that I was with. And you know how you're on a rebound. You're like, man, fuck it, I'm gonna knock something out the park, man. I guess she was throwing it. She was throwing it at me. We all go out. We all drinking. I necessarily wasn't interested in her. So I end up, because we all went back to the house, and I end up like chilling on the couch. And she like signals me to come in her room. I come in the room. I like lay down. I'm intoxicated. I'm not really interested in the doing it. But long story short, we end up doing it. her brother calls me out of the blue talking about you should pay for what you did to my sister. This is after everything happened. To pay for your deal. What the fuck are you talking about? Yeah. Days later, a black police officer comes to my door. It's like, hey, do you know about this situation? That I'm like, what are you talking about? Luckily, I kept the screenshots. She tried to delete her Facebook and everything. I'm like, man, nothing like that ever happened. I'm like, I would never do no
real quick.
Like
was she drunk too?
She was semi. You know how white people drink? They drink. It take damn near an ocean to get them drunk. You know, me, I'm lightweight. It take me 1 or 2, I'm done, bro. But she probably was on a binger, so she probably was. I'm lightweight, but I wasn't really interested in fornicating with her. But anyway, back to the story. I feel like her dad and brother was trying to course it. You know how white people are when they get to, they don't want you messing with their women. They start making up stories in their head that you're some big black raper or something like this most. And so I'm like, ultimately, what ended up happening was I showed the text message to the police officer. I said, and if I need to prove, if I had to go to extent to prove my innocence, this is what I did. So I showed the police officer the screenshots. I'm like, look, man, nothing happened that neither one of us probably end up consenting to. I said, technically, I actually probably got assaulted more than she did because I didn't consent to us doing it. She just kind of took advantage of me. After that, they end up dropping it. But I tried to press charges for that. Police didn't even take me seriously, bro. Wow. I went down to the precinct. I tried to file charges. They ignored me. They ignored the hell out of me. So I feel what Michael Irvin is going through. Don't nobody believe, man, when we say we've been assaulted or hurt or we're innocent until proven guilty. That shit is mad wild to me. That's mad wild to me. We are innocent until we are guilty until proven innocent.
Innocent.
Yeah. Right. That's wild, bro. So, I feel for all the brothers out there. I even told my old lady, I said, what if that's your, what if that's your brother? Y'all standing up for women and everything that they do. What was that your brother that happened to? You wouldn't feel that. You wouldn't be.
What if you had them screenshots, man? That's crazy.
Thank God I didn't delete it because I could have been up the river.
That's a fact.
She was telling me how she wanted to, lick my balls in the back and all that nasty. I'm like, first of all, wow. I'm not into that. Like, it's just wild stuff, man. White girls are kinky, man. They are unnecessarily kinky. But yeah, thank God I thank God I had those screenshots to save myself. So man,
shit, Michael got video. I don't know if it's gonna go the same way for him.
Man, he better sue the brakes off of her. And my own thing is too. I don't like that you can stay anonymous and like you can accuse anybody and stay anonymous. Nah, man, if you gonna say that shit with your chest. Be out in the public and tell everybody who you are. Because I don't think that's fair. You accusing me of a crime. I don't even know who you might be. You might be a random person. I might have bumped shoulders to on the train or something like that. You know what I mean? So
it's anything. I don't know how do we define what sexual assault like? Because what if he just did give her a call?
It's when you're unattractive to a woman, and it's when you're unattractive to a woman. She didn't think it was flirting. It's a sexual assault at this point. Sexual harassment. It's wild, bro. That's wild, man.
Yeah, I agree with you, man. We gotta redefine a lot of these terms and these definitions as far as sexual assault, sexual misconduct. Because, like I said, anything you staring too long, more than 3 seconds, is sexual harassment now. Like, you know what I mean? So yeah, we gotta really figure this out. And fellas, man, listen, I'm gonna tell you this right now. If Shorty is intoxicated, slightly intoxicated, I honestly won't even take
do it. It's
I
not
won't
even
even
worth
take that gamble, bro. I know it's easier said than done, but listen, man, you just don't want to put yourself in that situation, man. So,
Also, my bad, Eli, man. I was ragging on you kind of hard, man. So you finally got a. Oh, that was the mustache shit, bro. My bad.
That was it.
That was me, bro.
That's why I said Mark X the comedian when he came.
Okay. That makes sense.
Yo, that was me, bro. My bad, man. It was hilarious, man. Every time Ace read this shit, he kept laughing before he could get it out, man.
Yo, Keem, don't laugh too hard before your veneers fall out your mouth, nigga. Fuck out of here. Yo, Mark, man, we appreciate you for calling in. Be safe out there on them roads, man. And Yeah, man. Keep doing what you gotta do.
problem.
Bro,
Appreciate it.
I'll let you, Mark.
Keep doing
No,
your thing.
they keep sending in them jokes, man.
Yo, shut your ass up, man.
What? Yo, man, listen, man. Moral of the story, you know, just be mindful of the environments and situations that you're in. Obviously, we're not trying to say every woman is out here trying to just, you know,
Definitely
be vicious to men and trying to accuse men of just, you know.
That's not a real laugh, y'all. It's not a real laugh, my fault.
The crazy part when this shit laughing you and you smiling, it looked like it could be you, nigga. Forgot. Yeah. So
you got false teeth and shit too.
Yeah, man, we just gotta have these. We gotta have more of these conversations. Bring more awareness to situations like this. You know, and just be mindful, man. That's all I gotta say.
And anybody lying on somebody, man, fucking kick rocks, man. It makes it hard for the people that really are going through these situations, who's scared to tell their story because they're ashamed or they feel like they don't got enough proof and they can't prove what they're going through. You get what I'm saying? There's people out here that can't prove what they're going through, so they're scared to, you know, speak on their situations. And that's because you fuck people out here lying on people makes it harder for the people that are really going through something to express themselves.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, like again, if y'all been him, and make sure you hit that like button before y'all get up out of here. Share this to somebody I think might enjoy the conversation. Like I said, we told y'all yesterday, man, we're gonna be more active. I think we live tomorrow too. Or?
We live tomorrow too, man.
I mean, this is 3 days in a row.
This is a record for us, actually. Like, I mean, I don't think we never live stream more than twice a week. Like, you know what I mean? So
fuck these niggas,
man.
But yeah, 3 days in a row, man. We out here. I mean, I can't wait for tomorrow night. I mean, make sure y'all join in. We got guests tuning in, all that shit. Thank you for everybody that tuned in. Shout out to Lady Navoa. Shout out to
what up, Lady Navoa.
I mean, that's the number one mod right there. She really be holding it down, man.
Yeah, she definitely be holding us down.
Michael be holding it down too.
The podcast audio for the new episode dropped today. Make sure y'all go listen to that on all podcasts.
Please tell me y'all listen to that. Who listens to that in the chat, man?
Yeah, make sure y'all go. That's gonna be another good episode. That's a good episode. Next week episode is we got some bangers lined up. I ain't gonna hold. We got some bangers lined up, man. So
yeah, I think this episode they supposedly some educated women, right?
Man, they all say they some educated women. That don't really mean nothing.
She said that in her intro. You know, I'm a college student going for my degree.
Exactly, like I was saying, that shit don't mean nothing, bro. Like,
yeah, the sound effects is back, man. We out here, man.
I mean, you working your way back in, you know what I mean, getting used
to
it.
I gotta add a little bit more. You know what I mean?
Appreciate y'all for tuning in.
You're already.
End it now.